One shot, one hit. This is the rule when Ukrainian soldiers use the Javelin. In this video, the victim is a Russian tank. Take another look. The drone camera clearly captures the missile in flight. As a result, the destroyed T-72 tank, worth over $500,000, is burning out and detonating in the middle of the road. The Russian assault begins with the involvement of two IFVs. The vehicles move confidently across the open field, fortunate enough not to encounter any anti-tank mines along the way. But their luck was short-lived. Ukrainian forces fire a Javelin. The first IFV is hit. The vehicle following behind keeps moving despite everything. It covers a few more hundred meters. Another missile is launched, hitting the target precisely. Take a look from another angle. Another drone captured this from a closer distance. It's on fire, but keeps moving. An RPG shot is fired, but doesn't cause critical damage. Almost immediately, another Javelin missile strikes the vehicle. After that, a massive swarm of kamikaze drones attacks, completely destroying the equipment. Just look at how one by one, the drones deliver powerful blows to the Russian vehicles. This time, 3 vehicles advanced for the assault. The first one is already destroyed. The others continue to move. Take another look at this accurate shot. Ukrainian forces, from an ambush, fire another Javelin shot. Another direct hit. The vehicle burns for a while before being literally torn apart by the detonation. This tank was also ambushed with a Javelin. The detonation was so powerful that the tank's turret was blown off and thrown several dozen meters into the air. Take a closer look at a similar situation with the T-90M tank. Sometimes the turret is thrown so high that it ends up embedding itself several meters into the ground. Russian soldiers are preparing for a salvo from a fully loaded MLRS. Everything is almost ready, and the vehicle raises its launcher into firing position. The soldiers hear the sound of a drone and scatter in different directions as fast as they can. An explosion of incredible force. Look, the vehicle is practically dissolved into thin air. A barely noticeable black spot is all that remains of the equipment. The destruction of yet another Russian armored group by Ukrainian forces began with the tanks. After the first wave of drone attacks, the Russians halted and abandoned their vehicles. The second wave of drones was sent in to burn them completely. After the tanks were destroyed, the drone operators shifted their focus to finishing off the light armored vehicles. Look at this burning heap of metal. The open hatches and doors of the vehicles, left behind after the Russians' hasty retreat, made the job easier for the kamikaze drones. After a series of strikes, this group of vehicles ceased to exist. This assault was stopped not by drones or javelins, but by a single Ukrainian tank. 2 Russian IFVs were attempting to advance toward Ukrainian positions when, unexpectedly, the tank opened fire on them. The first vehicle is destroyed. The tank begins the chase. The first shot misses, but the second shot, a perfect hit. The turtle tank hits a mine. Then something unexpected happens. A drone armed with thermite drops a hellish shower on the tank. After some time, the tank catches fire, with its ammunition detonating in the process. The high speed of the vehicle does not save it from anti-tank mines. The vehicle catches fire and explodes in an instant. All that remains is a bright fireball. This tank, in the midst of an open field, finds a small island with greenery and takes up a firing position. A drone launched by Ukrainian soldiers flies in behind the vehicle and delivers a precise strike between the turret and the hull of the tank. The pressure from the detonation is so immense that the tank's turret is blown off instantly. Following this, a secondary explosion occurs within the hull, which is engulfed in flames as the remaining ammunition detonates. This Russian infantry fighting vehicle, fully fueled and loaded with ammunition, drives along the tree line. Suddenly, it turns around and begins to move in the opposite direction. This was a fatal mistake, as a kamikaze drone chasing the vehicle collided with it head-on. By the way, give it a like while these guys fighting for independence direct the drone towards another piece of Russian equipment that needs to be finished off. The first strike causes a small fire. But look, moments later, the vehicle is engulfed in flames. A detonation occurs, and a second one just a second later. All that remains of this tank is worthless scrap metal. A drone approaches the abandoned tank. At first glance, the hit seems to be a miss, but a fire ignites, which will eventually burn the vehicle to the ground. Russian soldiers abandoned these two light infantry fighting vehicles, but left a significant amount of ammunition inside. Ukrainian forces cannot seize everything inside the vehicles due to the dangerously close proximity to the enemy. Drones are dispatched to carry out the task. The first drone strikes the IFV on the right. A fire ignites. The second drone hits the fuel tank suspended behind the vehicle. The explosion was incredibly powerful. Look at the large chunk of the hull that flew off the vehicle. This tank has been abandoned with the hatch left open. The operator directs the drone there without hesitation. The vehicle is on fire, and the ammunition inside detonates, completely destroying it. The drone strikes the IFV moving within the convoy. The vehicle sustains no significant damage but begins to catch fire. The crew evacuates it. The rest of the group manages to advance a bit further, but starts triggering anti-tank mines, clustering at one point. All the vehicles were reinforced with additional armor, but it did not protect them from the mines. Drones have begun to completely destroy the remnants of the equipment. Look, this is all that remains of the assault attempt. One IFV is still burning. And nearby, you can see a tank from which the turret was blown off after the detonation. This massive Russian attack completely failed. Ukrainian forces coordinated different types of weapons exceptionally well, giving us a spectacular display of explosions. To stop this attack, all available resources were deployed, including even cluster munitions. What followed was absolute hell for the Russian vehicles. Look, yet another tank with its turret trying to launch into space. One after another, the vehicles, fully loaded with ammunition, are exploding with immense force. Drones began to finish off the equipment, which was exploding just as spectacularly. Look, the Russians fled, leaving these two IFVs completely exposed. This made it easier for the kamikaze drones, which quickly and accurately destroyed the vehicles. They burned for a while until only charred metal was left. The drone flies in to treat another ailment, the open hatch of the tank. The pill in the form of a shaped charge shell didn't help. Pressure built up inside the vehicle, and it eventually burned completely. The drone didn't aim for the open hatch, but that didn't stop it from inflicting fatal damage on this IFV. The tank with additional armor met the same fate. In this case, the turtle tank and the IFV were trying to reach Ukrainian positions. Most likely, they were stopped by anti-tank mines, and kamikaze drones were sent to finish the job. There was no spectacular detonation, but like the other vehicles, this one is beyond repair or recovery. Just like this turtle tank, which will slowly but surely burn out and remain forever in the Ukrainian fields.